I'm making this video for those of you that are beginners that want to understand how to first start working with the demons in the Goetia, or working with any demon for that matter. Doing your research properly, thoroughly, understanding the difference between the spirits that are intermediate, advanced, okay, and beginner, all right? You want to pick the spirits that are great for beginners, the ones that are patient, the ones that are going to take their time with you, the ones that aren't going to overload you and flood you with information right off the bat. Those spirits will really help you to understand how to work on the pieces of yourself, okay, that will be exposed if they're not looked at, if they're not worked upon, all right? Because there are a lot of pieces of people that get exposed. There's a lot of fractals that you can see that are spread out in someone's life, in their aura. There are a lot of us that can actually see this in someone's life when we look at them, especially if we look them in the eyes. So you need to be working on this shit, because you don't want to show those things. You don't want to show these pieces of yourself that can easily be worked on. You want to start working on your mental health. It's very fucking important, okay, to seek therapy if you have a lot of trauma. Okay? I'm not one to knock someone getting therapy at all. Seek some sort of therapy to help you understand where you are mentally before you start working with this. Okay? Now, I want to talk about shadow work, okay? Now, shadow work, this is very different from shadowmancy, okay? Shadowmancy is completely different. Shadowmancy is the utilization of the shadows to bring forward a specific desired effect, cursing someone, bringing forward pieces of information, manipulating someone, things of that sort. Shadow work entails utilizing your emotions to connect to pieces of yourself that are within your timeline, that are directly connected to your traumas as a child, okay? Every single one of us has some sort of trauma in some way, shape, or form that has become a problem in our life, okay? Some people have problems with finances. Some people have problems with relationships. Some people have problems with control in their reality. Some people have problems with anger. Some people have no control over their emotions. This comes directly from your childhood traumas. What you were molded into as a child is the product. What you were molded into as a child has become you, the product, okay? The product of the present time. Who the hell are you? And what exactly do you understand about your weaknesses and strengths? Okay? What do you know about yourself? That's a question to ask yourself. Do you truly know yourself? Do you know the difference between whether or not there's a spirit speaking to you? And if you don't, how exactly do you find those means? Do you know if you're imagining something or if you're actually having an experience with that spirit? Do you know if you have the ability to address the fact that something in your life has happened and it was traumatic? Do you have the ability to actually process that? Can you admit that emotions are important? Can you admit that it is okay to cry? Especially as a man, those of you that are men out there. Can you admit that to yourself, that it is okay to cry? Can you admit this to yourself? It's okay to be angry. It's okay to express these emotions. You should not have to shut them off. It's okay to sometimes indulge in the urges that you have. Now, in no way do I condone these urges that are fucking terrible and downright vile, But there are certain urges that we have that we must act upon. We need to stop fronting. Like pushing our emotions to the back burner is going to solve the problem. We need to stop fronting. Okay? We need to stop acting as if things are okay. We need to stop trying to be strong and actually address what is affecting us on a daily basis. This is important. These are key components to your mental stability, all right? Now, if you can address those things, if you can work on these things, then you will be ready to work with the spirits. That is the most important part. Working on your mental health, working on your inner child, working on understanding them, working on validating them, because those pieces will no longer be fractals and they will become a part of you. They will become a part of you. Inside of you, your present self. They will connect to your higher self, which will give you the ability to be more empowered, which will give you the ability to have a firm grasp on your reality. Okay? You need to actually really take the time to understand yourself before you try to even understand any of them. Okay? The next part, the next piece I want to talk about is fear. Fear of working with demons. Fear of working with the unknown. Okay? King Paimon was one of the first spirits that I've ever summoned successfully. The first one that I decided to work with from the Goetia because I had such a strong pull and a connection to him. For those of you that are new, later down the line, I ended up working with Bune because Paimon introduced me to who Bune was. Now, when I started to connect with Paimon, I was very afraid of him. I was deathly afraid of him. I didn't feel like I understood him. I didn't feel like I had a firm grasp of what exactly his real intentions were. But why does that fucking matter? If Paimon was there, Paimon respected me, Paimon was patient with me, Paimon took the time to explain to me everything that I wanted and needed to know. Paimon took the time to actually help me to really go within and connect deeper to the pieces of myself that I didn't understand. That's what Paimon did for me. Paimon helped me face my fear, okay, of tarantulas, huge spiders, scorpions, reptiles. It gave me the ability to really live without that fear, without the fear of death, without the fear of losing things in my life. Once I learned about that, I was introduced to Bune. I started to work with Bune very, very closely. And you know what Bune taught me? That emotions are important. That communication is important. That once you are expressing your emotions, you're giving yourself the ability to address the fact that things have happened within your life. To address the fact that those things that are weaknesses can easily become strengths with working on them and looking into them. Addressing the fact that holding shit in is not ever gonna solve your problems. Addressing the fact that if you're ghosting someone, that will not solve the problem. Okay? Bune also showed me how to connect and communicate better with the divine feminine. To connect and communicate better with women, especially my woman in my relationship. Bune gave me the ability to understand the perspective of women in totality. Okay? To really start to really validate the emotions, validate the insecurities and the reasons why they have insecurities. to validate those sensitivities that they have, to understand what it is that they want and what they need, especially in a relationship. This is what Bune taught me. And then Bune taught me how to properly run a business, how to start one from the ground up. And then guess what? I moved down the line and was later introduced to Marbus and then introduced to Lucifuge. And once I was working with them, they gave me that ability to fully get a firm grasp on what the fuck I wanted to do with my life. Did I want to work for someone, or did I want to work for me? Did I want to be in control of when I make my schedule, when I get off of work, when I have days off, or did I want someone else dictating what the fuck I do with my time? Dictating what the fuck I should be acting like in my workspace? Dictating what I wear? Did I want to go work for someone and take my piercings out of my face? Fuck that. And I refused every single place they interviewed me that told me that it wasn't okay. What the fuck does that have to do with anything pertaining to my work ethic and my ability to do the job effectively? I thought it was bullshit, so I took control of my reality. That is my testimonial to you about this path. Because now, with everything that I have done, everything that I have built, I built this shit by pushing past my limitations, by pushing past my preconceived limitations. Because everyone else told me that I should not do this, that I was fucking crazy, that I would lose myself, that all of these different things would happen, that you're not supposed to go about doing it the way that I'm doing it, but I'm fucking doing it anyway because I am in control of what I do in my life. That's why. And that's the reason why I want to tell you guys, like I said, that's why you need to focus on your mental health first. That's why you need to find out who is a beginner spirit and who is not. You need to find out what exactly you want for yourself. Find out your strengths and your weaknesses. Learn to tell the difference between these things. Find out how you can bring your ego down and allow your real, authentic self to understand the information that's being brought forward to you. Thank you.